Welcome back. Today we continue our series in TypeScript tutorials. In this series, we basically try to answer questions that may appears or you may face on an interview that is related to TypeScript. And today's we talks about generics and what are generics. So basically, generics in TypeScript provide a way to create reusable, type-safe components by allowing you to define types or functions that work with a variety of data types. They provide the ability to write code that can adapt to different data types without sacrificing types safety. And let's just talk about a generic type, for example. Let's call the generic type, and let's just try to like function identity. Let's call it identity. Yeah, it's something like that. And if we want to use this generic function, we can like const result will equals identity string dot hello world. And here you can define a generic types by using the angle bracket, and a type parameter within your type or function declaration. The type parameter acts as a placeholder for a specific data type that will be provided when the type or function is used. In this example, this t is a parameter that represents the data type of the argument and return value on the identity function. We want to talk about the generic function. So no generic, not generic interface, is generic function. So basically here, it's like, let's create a function called the pair, and this pair takes 2, and we have like first, which will be t, and second, which will be u, and we return t and u, first and second. So basically here, functions can also be generic if we want. You can use type parameters to specify the data type of function arguments and return values in a flexible way. So for example here we make sure that t is a string and y is a number, u is a number, and here the pair is generic function that takes 2 type parameters, t and y, and representing the type of its arguments and its return value. We want to talk about generic classes. And here you can create a generic class. For example, okay, we can do this, but this is too much. I think we can just do it with one only, and yeah, let's just make it with t. No need to have second and first, and not need to make it also private. You can just make it like that. Generic classes, you can create generic classes within the type parameters that allow you to the class to work with different types of data. So for example, if I created a number here, and let's call this box. We create right now based on this one. We want to talk about the interfaces. So TypeScript can often let's talk about okay. I love Copilot. Actually, the next one we talk about the constraints. Let's talk about constraints, and after that let's talk about interfaces. Okay, so The constraints, you can apply constraints to type parameters to restrict the types that can be used. For example, you can ensure that the type parameter extend a particular base type or has a specific property. So for example, I will tell function log length, and it will be yeah, for this one, yeah, this example is great. And for example, if I said log length hello world, it will work. If I say log length and I put what 2, it will be an error. So here, as you can see, that we can apply the constraints to type parameters to restrict the types that can be used. For example, you can ensure that the types parameter extends to a particular base type or specific property. As you can see here, we said that we have t and we extend the length in it to be number. And here t is constrained to be types with the length of property. Here, if we just scroll out this one, and we said the argument of type number is not assignable to a parameter of type length of number. And yeah, this is one of the things. And after that, we want to talk about the generic interfaces. Okay, I love Copilot. Copilot does a lot for me right now. Using interfaces, TypeScript can often infer the type arguments for generics based on provided values, reducing the need to explicitly specify typing arguments. So for example, I will just make, maybe you can do this one, or maybe you can do yeah, you can do it like that if you want also, or you can do this one also. Like you can create a new one and you have its number and you create a constant equals 42. Generics are a powerful feature in TypeScript that enables you to write more flexible and reusable code while maintaining strong type safety. They are commonly used in libraries and frameworks to create generic data structured and functions that can work with the various data types. So yeah, that's it for today's video, and that's it for all you need to know about generics. And in the next video, we'll talk about what are the differences between generics and interfaces and types. We can talk about that in the future.